Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tony Six Morning Show. I'm Tony T with you here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, giving out live free picks for today's card. And in today's show, guys, we have picks for you here from, well, the NBA, college football. Got a little action in there. Boy, it's going to really test the narrative that bad football is better than no football. We got probably one of the worst games you'll ever see scheduled today. And, of course, we'll have action from college football, NHL, and more. So make sure you hit that like, that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. And let's meet the cappers and get right to the picks as we don't mess around here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show. Let's get started. Well, let's say hello to Chris. Chris, what's going on?
Not much. Coming off a 1-1 day there, had the Cardinals, and then on the flip side of things, had BYU in college basketball. They looked good till they didn't. There, I had them at 7.5 though. Got an early line. Still couldn't cover that, but yeah, good call with the Cardinals there. It felt like just taking care of the Cowboys, and ready to get to today.
They certainly did. They stopped that offense, and Dak, no doubt. Sean Way, how you doing?
All right. So 500 day on the basketball hardwood there for college. Although the Kraken did win here at the end of the show, we could take the Kraken win in regulation. That was nice. College basketball at the end of the show went 2-3. 2-3. Youngstown loses by 15 again, 14.5. Otherwise, we would have 3-2 today. But it is what it is. I had some dogs. Some games weren't even close. Like that's totally bad picks. But we're just talking all fair. I mean, these lines, I don't even know what to expect here. You think you know something, or you got to look, and then nope, not meant to be. So. I don't know. I want to see how today plays out. I got one game up for college hoops there. We'll see. One day at a time. It's a new year. You can't rely on all last year's stuff. That's in the past.
Oh yeah, a lot of changes, coaching changes, lineup changes, philosophy changes. You name it, lots of changes, especially with NHL and the transfer portal, no doubt. Outside of what's going on.
Nothing much. 2-1 day yesterday. Needed to bounce back. It was a brutal weekend for me. But yeah, I mean, ready to get in today. A lot of college basketball, NBA. So yeah, I'm ready to get into it.
Let's get right to it, guys. We'll go ahead and start here with college football. As I said, it's going to put that narrative to test here, no doubt. Here, we'll get you rolling here with college football. It's UMass and Akron game. What the worst you're going to see. Akron going to lay 10 here, total 49.5. Better one here in the MAC here. Miami, Ohio, and Ohio, two of the heavyweights there going head-to-head. We're seeing Ohio here open 3.5. There's been money on Miami, Ohio here throughout the week here. It's down to 2.5. We see a 2 at South Point. We see a 3 at BetChris. So there's a lot of, we're seeing variances in the number. Total 49.5. We got to start with Chris.
Yeah, the only two of this one I'm looking at here, Miami, Ohio. I'm going to take Ohio at home, minus 2.5 there. They're covering against home conference games there, and I just think they're the better team there against Miami, Ohio. So with a short number of 2.5, we'll take it.
There we go with Chris. Move on over to Sean.
Yeah, everybody loves their action. So you got your action doubleheader today. Enjoy it. UMass, probably the worst team in college football. I mean, these guys rate out to even worse than FCS squads here. I guess you look at an under net. I mean, where's 49 points coming from? They can't score. Look at that, 3, 6, 7. They can't score. So I'll go under there. And we got a little MAC championship rematch there with Miami O and the Ohio Bobcats. The line tells me to take Ohio there. You look at it, 3.5. You're like, oh boy, the other team's hotter, right? 5 straight wins, revenge, all this kind of nonsense. I don't know. 11-game home win streak for the home faves. I'll lean that way.
There we go with Sean. Next up, we move on to Alessandro.
Well, I'm looking to lay it here with Akron minus 10. UMass averaging 10 points per game in MACtion. So any MAC conference play, 10 points per game, giving up over 30 throughout the year as well. I mean, it's hard to win that way. They got a freshman quarterback, freshman running back, 0-8. Ben Finley's at least done something through the air this year. 7 straight games, 200 yards passing. I'll take my shot here, Akron minus 9.5. And then Miami, Ohio, and Ohio. I'm actually kind of with you guys. I kind of based it off the fact that, Navarro's been with the Ohio program at least a couple of years. This is still Finn's first year with this Miami, Ohio program. And, he did get hurt earlier this year. He's looked good in that last start. I just don't know what I'm going to get out of him. He is a good mobile runner as well, but Navarro can run as well. It's a tight game. The line makes sense to me, so I get what you guys are thinking with Ohio -2.5, but I couldn't get their premium side on it. So I gave away a freemium already, though, with the Akron -9.5, 10.
Here we go from Alessandro. I'll tell you what I think about these games. The one I like the most is Ohio as well. Looking here at the Bobcats, they've been pounding teams at home. Red Hawks offensively on the road in conference, they struggle on the ground, and they struggle with quarterback accuracy in their road conference games. You look at Ohio at home, and Mac play putting up 42 a game. Running for over 6.5 yards a carry. Again, really good play from Monaro at home. And the Bobcats, 11-5, the spread at home. I'll look at Ohio there in this one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Picks Morning Shows. We'll continue on here with, we'll move right on over to the NBA. Looks like we have a 6-game card, 2 games with 3 blocks each. So we'll get underway here with the Bucks and Raptors here. We see the Raptors favorites at home here. 4.5, total 236 with Milwaukee on a back-to-back here. Only one listed out is Porter here for Milwaukee. Porter is questionable for Toronto. Orlando and Atlanta. Orlando road fave. The fours are coming down to 3.5 right now. In this one, total sits here at 228. And in this game, we got Wagner, Morris Wagner still out. Trae Young's going to be out, I believe, a month with, I believe it is a sprained ankle there. So no Young for some time for Atlanta. We go to Charlotte and New Orleans. The Pelicans favored 2.5, 3, total 236.5. And in this one, we've got Green. Of course, Brandon Miller's still out. Grant Williams is still out there for Charlotte. But the big one here is Ball is questionable for Charlotte. So we get this block of 3 beginning here with Chris.
Yeah, look at this Milwaukee-Toronto game. I'm taking over 236.5 there. I think we see some up and down there. I know Milwaukee could be tired on the back-to-back here, but I think the Raptors are able to come in here and at home and get us up and down on this total. The other one, the Magic, I'm going to take them at -3.5. I feel like this line's been everywhere. I think I saw somewhere early yesterday it was -2.5. It was 4.5. Now it's 3.5. It's bouncing all over the place. So I'm going to take the Magic on the road with the 3.5. If you can catch that before it goes anywhere else, do that. And then I'm going to take the Hornets on the road here, the +2.5 there. The Hornets have been doing pretty well here lately, but I like them with 2.5 points there.
There we go here from Chris. Next up, we move right over. Anything in this block, Sean?
I sort of like the Magic. I don't know if I could get to the window on it with them being on their 5th road game here, and but again, I like them for the year. So you know what, you need some wins. Let's go. You're 3-4. What's his name's out? Let's get a win here, right? Young. I mean, he's out again, like that guy. So sign me up for the Magic.
All right, there from Sean. Yeah, there are some concerns about Giannis. Not listed yet, but he was listed yesterday. He was probable going into yesterday's game with a lingering knee issue. So if he was probable yesterday, just reading the tea leaves, he may show up here later in the afternoon there on the injury report with Milwaukee in a back-to-back spot.
He's not playing today.
Yeah.
That's why the line, I mean, come on. You're going to get +4.5 with him playing? Come on.
Yeah.
He's out.
Nothing official yet, but if you read the tea leaves, you could probably figure that if he came in probably yesterday, they're probably set up a scenario where they can call him out today. So I agree with Sean. I think you're not going to see Giannis in this game, especially coming in with that lingering knee issue was his probable status yesterday. On over to Alessandro.
I mean, we saw the Lakers win last night like that without Luka. Last minute, pulled the chair out underneath me. I was worried about that. Still cashed. I do have a premium in that Bucks Raptors game. Everything out here. Magic Hawks, though, I'll talk about that one here. I don't know. I don't want to run and lay anything here with the Magic with how they've played start the year. I know there's no Trae Young. I think Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker step up. And then I took a shot here on some props with what's this guy, Luke Kennard. If there's going to be a random dude that just kills the Magic today, it'll be this guy from 3, over 8.5 points at -120. I'll take that. And then his over 3 attempts, makes, 1.5 at +110. I think he'll make more than 2 threes. And then if you want to get crazy and go plus money with this guy, I'm trying to find it. Give me a second. With him at they won't even let me do it anymore. I was trying to get around 15, 20 points with him. You know how you can go by fives on these ladders, 15, 20, 25. You're talking plus 400 with him. Luke Kennard plus money. That's all I like, really, that first slot. That Sixers game is a tough one.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a number there, close there. Tell you what I think about these games. I'm going to go over with Milwaukee and Toronto. Even if Giannis plays, it's okay because we probably will get some pace, especially with the way Toronto has been playing here defensively. It's been pretty rough at home for Toronto. 121 points per 100 possessions. Bucks, they've won, of course, 3 on the road. They're averaging 113 points per 100 possessions and shooting the ball very well. They are playing at a very fast pace on the road. This Bucks team, they are 5-1 to the over to start the season. Of course, Toronto's a team that'll run with you as well. 8-4 to the over, facing teams that outscore opponents by 3+ points. I'll look at Milwaukee and Toronto to go over the total in that one. I'll take the Pelicans in this one. I just again, losing Miller and possibly Ball, I think, is a big hit to them offensively. And Zion and company here, I'll take. Well, we're not sure with the Zion, right, with his status here. But looking at Charlotte, they lost 2 of 3 here on the road. Give them 119 points per 100 possessions. So I'll look at the Pelicans here. Charlotte on the road, giving up 49% shooting, 41% from 3. It's been terrible defense here for Charlotte. I'll take New Orleans in that one. All right, let's continue here on the Tony this morning show as we continue on with the next games. We got Sixers and Bulls. Here we got the Bulls laying 1, total 239.5. And this one, what we got here in this block, let's see what we've got here in this Sixers game. We got Barlow and George out. Hey, we might see McCain. He's probable. McCain may make his debut today for the Sixers. On the Bulls side, no Kobe White, no Collins. Dosunmu is questionable there. Next up, we got Suns and Warriors. Look at this. The Warriors now up to 11 in some spots, 10.5 in others, 233.5. And in this one, we've got Brooks and Green out. Livers questionable. Dunn, prior side, Horford, Melton, Tui are out. And then, of course, the game on Amazon, Peacock. The game on Peacock, 11 p.m. Eastern time, everybody complains about there. I think what they're doing with these 11 Eastern times, they're playing these games on national television in the West Coast or East Coast, depending where you live. That's why they have these, because you don't start prime time programming at 7:30 Eastern or 7:30 Pacific. So that's why they're doing I understand now why they're doing the 11 p.m. East time, so they can put them on local television. This one may be in your local television, or there's another 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock game in the East that will be on local television. And that's kind of how they're doing this with this Peacock. So this one will be local television in LA and on the West Coast. Clippers and Thunder. The Thunder road favorites here, 7.5, total 220.5. Clippers here on a back-to-back spot, so keep an eye on Kawhi Leonard, if you will. On the OKC side topic, Kenrick Williams, Jalen Williams out. Dort questionable, Mitchell questionable. The bad Jalen Williams is questionable there. On the Clippers side, we've got Miller doubtful. Beal, of course, your 2 injury guys. Beal and Leonard are both questionable. Sanders probable there for the Clippers, maybe even doubtful. We'll see how that goes throughout the afternoon, evening. We start with Chris.
Yeah, I know it's a high total here in the Sixers Bulls game, but I think it's high for a reason. There's no defense played there in Chicago or 76ers either way. So I think we get up and over that total. It's a big one, but it's a lean to that. Probably leaving aside alone in the Suns Warriors. That's just ugly. Might take the over 233 there. We should be able to get up and down that way. And then I'm going to take, I know they're on the back-to-back here, but I'm going to take Clippers at home plus 7.5 as a dog there against the Thunder and get those points there. I think they should be able to cover that at home at least. They may not win it outright against the Thunder, but giving me 7.5, I'll take it.
There we go here from Chris. Move on over to Sean.
I want to take the Clippers here. I know they're what, 1-5. They haven't covered a game, right? Where they cover one game this season, but that's all his favorites. They're not covering his favorites. You know that. As a dog, though, OKC again. Yeah, they're at home. They cover these huge numbers. I don't know, a little slow out the gate for the Thunder. I'm gonna go. I'll take the Clip here plus the 7. We're gonna go what, a touchdown here at home? 7.5. Let's go, LA.
Yeah, covered. Yeah, the the Thunder aren't being your buddies this year. Yeah, they're not covering. The numbers have caught up to them, right? They're not the Thunder.
I mean, I'm sure the Clippers have a bunch of guys not playing or game time because they're a bunch of geriatric crybabies who are always hurt. But I'll take this.
Yeah, OK's missing guys too. I mean, they're missing their second best player. They have them all season. On over to Alessandro. We're on mute there, Alessandro. Still on mute.
Oh.
We can't hear you.
My bad. Jalen Williams still questionable, and then what do you call it? AJ Mitchell. This guy here has emerged onto the scene here.
Yes.
So prop wise, I'm starting to look at him now. That's the thing with the Thunder and some of these NBA teams, man. They'll find these guys that 10-day contracts or whatnot, and they just start making a name for themselves. And I don't know. That's what it's making me lean the Thunder still. I know they haven't been covering these numbers. They'll find a guy to get open. I like Aaron Wiggins. I like Isaiah Joe. I mean, they're deep. This team's deep still. I know they haven't played well this year. 7-0 still, -7. Interesting. But, I don't know. I'm looking Thunder there. It's not on the side or anything. Haven't bet it yet. Maybe the number can drop a little bit. But this Warriors game, I'm just going props here. I'll take the D-Book over 39.5 points, rebounds, assists. And I'll take Steph Curry over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm not scared to go square in that game. I think they're going to go right at each other. That should be a fun one to watch if you just want to watch two point guards go at it and jack up 30-plus shots. I think that'll be a fun one to watch. But as far as touching this spread, Suns are awful, man. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Warriors cover this, but I don't want to have anything to do with it. But prop-wise, I'll go and watch that.
Here we go here from Alessandro. Say what I think about these games. I like the over in the Suns and Warriors here. Looking at this Suns team, boy, they're just really bad defensively. They're giving up 133 points per game, 49% shooting. Warriors at home this year hitting 50%, 40% from three, put up 122 a game. Both teams are 5-2 to the over. I'll look at the over in that one. Thunder and Clippers, I can only look at the plus price here with the Clippers coming in this one. We are looking at the injuries on the Clippers, but looking at the KC, Jalen Williams, about their second best player. And then, as we talked about, AJ Mitchell is has been a key contributor for them as well. Dort is one of those guys that can do dirty work for you inside. So I think a lot of injuries here for this OKC team. Also, OKC, not a very good three-point shooting team. They're getting away with it. And here, just 29% from three here on the road this year. LA, really good shooting percentage. You still got Harden company kind of looking here at the rotation who can fill in those minutes for the Clippers. They do have some depth here. Chris Dunn, John Collins. John Collins is no slouch. We saw what he did with Utah yesterday. He does help them all out. Chris Paul still there. Batum in there. Brook Lopez. That's a lot of guys off the bench that can help you. Projected for no minutes is Bogdan Bogdanovic, so he may even see some time here. So they've got some shooters here that can come back and just keep them in the game, get the cover. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the win, just looking for the cover. I'll look at the clips there in that one as well. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Swickson Morning Show. We'll turn our attention to college basketball. And what we're going to do with college basketball, we'll do until we get to conference season, just toss the cappers. Just give us what you got. There's a lot on the table right now, a lot of focus on football as well as NBA and hockey. So just give us what you got here in college basketball. We start here with Chris.
Just a couple that I'm looking at today. Looking at this big one here, I guess, Texas Duke. I'm going to take the over. I think we get up and over that total. Duke probably do heavy lifting in that part, but I think we get up and over. I've got 153.5. Looks like is where. Double check that real quick. Yeah, 153.5. I think we get up and over that. Also, another one with Georgia Southern versus my Pirates of East Carolina. I'm actually going to go Georgia Southern there. It's a plus 7.5. That line has gone up. So I'll take that with Georgia Southern. I think they should be able to keep it close there, if not win outright against my Pirates on that one. And then another one that's probably a big one that I'm watching is just kind of a lean here. Nickel State in Kentucky. I think everybody's expecting Kentucky to blow Nickel State out. It's 30 points. I don't know. Yesterday was kind of crazy watching these teams, just some of them not cover these big spreads. So a slight lean to Nickel State in that one. Nothing on the window on that one. I do have one premium in this, but it's not that game. There
we go here from Chris. Move on over to Sean.
Well, like I said, I had a break-even day, losing day overall, but a 500 day with college basketball. I say some big dogs, some little dogs, some faves. It was a hodgepodge. Today's a tough one. Now I got one game up. The Portland State here nearly makes the card for me. I'm still going to – I don't know. I might still use – the sun looks just low to me here at 11. It's open at 9. I lean that way there. Louisiana Tech against Nevada. I like a little Tech there. And the last one I was looking NC Asheville against Wichita. Again, haven't pulled the trigger on these 3. I want to. We'll see what happens. I don't know. All right. Weird. Day 2, I don't know. I loved it. Day 1, I thought I was looking good. And then you look at these, I'm like, oh, boy. Oh, a lot of movement. It's like a Christmas tree, my screen here. It's green, it's red, yellow's on it.
Yep.
Here comes the money in Oregon now. 12.5. Oh, I don't know. I'm not gonna throw. That's it. Move on. I don't have a firm opinion for anybody, but it's one of those days. So, sometimes you love it. So remember, sometimes you feel like you're not.
I'll ask you about it, Higgs. What about this ECU under? I know Chris was talking about the ECU game there with Georgia Southern. Under 148.5. That's just based off how they played last year. Slow pace of play. They got another Raymond Felton disciple here. They had RJ Felton last year. They just brought in a kid, LaDonte Felton. So the Felton family still running through ECU. I know they play slow. Under 148.5. I was looking there. I have a premium on the Texas Duke game. So go scoop that up. I like that game. And then the UNLV, I always, check out UNLV. They're playing tonight. Minus 17.5 against UT Martin. I can only look their way. I'm not even trying to be a homer. I just think they've actually brought some nice pieces in. They got a 6'9" kid here from High Point, Kamani Hamilton. Excited to see what he does. This Alabama transfer, 6'7" kid, Nas Cunningham. And then this kid, 7-footer, Emmanuel Stephen. And then they got a kid from Australia, too. This, what's his name again? Excuse me. A lot of guys I got written down here. Miles or Walter Brown, 6'5" guard from Australia. So they're forking the money out. They lost a ton of talent. De'Don Thomas goes to LSU. That was a big loss like that. So I don't know. I like UNLV tonight, lay that big number with them. UT Martin has really nothing to offer. Their top leading scorer left and transferred to Duquesne. So I don't know who's going to be the guy making shots for them really tonight. And then Chris was already talking about Portland State, plus 11. I like that, actually. I think they have the size to match up with Stanford. Obviously, Stanford likes to, work it down low. Raynaud's now in the pros. That Maxine Raynaud, he's in the pros now. But they replaced him. They got this guy, Oscar Giltay, 6'11" kid out of Belgium. And then this Krister Skrinda, another 6'11" kid out of Latva. So a couple European guys down low for Stanford. Nothing new. They like to work it down low, kick it to the outside for threes, that type of offense. I don't know. I think Portland can hang around, though. They got these 2 guys here. Again, I'm looking for these names here. These Trayvon Minot, 6'10" kid. And then Trayvon Minot, 6'10" kid. And then Keon Webb, San Diego transfer here for Portland State. So they have the size to match up with Stanford. And then their leading scorer comes back, Jalen Henderson, 6'3" senior, averaged 17 points a game last year for Portland State. Yeah, I think they can hang around. 9 it opened up at, it's up to 11. Please get up to 13, 14. I'll take it. If it's bait, it's bait. But I'll take the plus 14. It's plus 11 right now. Excuse me. But, this thing might keep rising here. It opened up at 9. As far as anything else, that's all I got.
There you go with Alessandro. Tell you what I think about a few of these here. I'm going to take Evansville plus the points. You're going to have to rely on size here against Purdue. You're seeing almost 34 now from an opener of 28. I'm just going to fake the move and take the Evansville Aces here to get it done and cover the number here based on the fact that they do have some size that they probably match up in the paint, size Purdue in the paint. Also, I'm just going to take the points with Texas. You got Sean Miller now, the head coach. I think he wants to make a good impression here with the team. I know it's a road game. It's going to be tough. And Duke, of course, there's always a flag has transferred on, moved on to the NBA. But Sean Miller was able to bring some transfers over from Xavier. So I'll look here at the points. A lot of points there. I'll take them in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony X Morning Show as we continue on here. We'll look at NHL here. We'll just see what you got here. Alessandro, I know you keep an eye, closer eye of all of us here on the NHL. Anything you like on the card tonight from the NHL?
Actually, Mammoth are rolling hot right now. Not mad at anybody wanting to just roll on that train. Didn't bet that personally. Oilers let me down last night. They got a back-to-back spot here against the Stars. No, thank you. I'll just stay away. The one I did place here is this Panthers-Ducks game. I have a premium on the site. I like that game a lot, so go scoop that one up. And then got some tickets to a Golden Knights game. I'm going to be going soon here, but tonight, I don't know, man. The Red Wings have been scrappy. I don't want to lay minus 190. I don't want to lay a puck line tonight with the Golden Knights. Just staying away from it. I'm impressed with VGK, actually. They've come out the gate looking kind of good. So, I was looking to fade. Now I'm, kind of like, all right, I'll pick my spots with VGK. What do you call it? Jets and Kings. I look at the Jets here on the road, plus 105. I just think they're a little bit better, plain and simple. Like the spot, plus 105 is not a bad price. Kind of buy a low situation there. That's all I got.
Yeah, from Alessandro. Of course, I know Sean takes a casual look at the NHL. Do you see anything on the card today, Sean?
No, I didn't even look at the hockey day, especially after a winner yesterday. So
there you go. Well, let me see what Chris says. Anything you saw there on the NHL?
No, I got my first NHL goal scorer video out there, so
nice.
looking to see how much criticism I get for that. On that, as somebody who doesn't really follow hockey, just the data, but just got some goal scorers. So we'll talk about that in the next thing.
Very good. All right, we got through the card for today. Now it's time for our parlay purple segment, where our cappers give it a parlay, team player prop, and also give out a game of the future. And we'll start the segment off here with Chris.
Yeah, take a couple overs here, cross sport thing. We're gonna go Texas Duke over, and then we'll go Milwaukee Toronto over, and then a goal scorer that didn't make the video, Mark Scheifele. I don't know. That was the big struggle with those videos, is trying to say these guys' names. But Mark, he's with Winnipeg, so take him for a goal.
There we go. Here from. Let's move on over to Sean.
Just butcher the names. It's okay, Chris. But,
what are
you, French? Are you a Quebecian? You got to get these guys' names right. It's all right. Don't be like the newscasters who try to pull like some Spanish, like fling on their accents. Like don't just say it. It's all right. Everybody knows what you're talking about. The wins, no one's gonna care. They don't care. The winner. What do we got here today? That's I guess we'll go with the near misses. We'll go with the near misses. We'll see how it does. 2 and 3 in college basketball. We're going the Portland State plus 10.5 right now. And then we will do NC Asheville plus 7.5. There you go. I don't want to say a two-teamer, but 2 picks for you here. Do as you will. Do as you will with the college hoops. 2 and 3 yesterday. Good luck.
Good luck there. Here, knocks off over to Alessandro.
All right, we're going to do 3-leg all props. Stephen Curry over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Devin Booker over 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then just a sprinkle here, Luke Kennard over 8.5 points. I love that. 3-legger, 5-1 odds.
There you go from Alessandro. I'm going to go ahead and give you a college football for Saturday, a game I'm looking at here. This one has not crossed. I don't think it's crossed over to the 7 number yet. Give me West Virginia here laying the 6.5 here against Colorado. Dark times here for Colorado. They're going to go with a freshman quarterback, 3rd string. Cater Salter couldn't get it done. Who was the backup they had there from last year? He couldn't get it done. It was ugly last week.
You said they're going to go to Juju Lewis?
That's who they're going to go to. Yeah, they made the commitment to the freshman. So
that's crazy. They're basically going to remove the red shirt, possibly.
Well, maybe Prime's not going to be around for his fifth season, right? I don't think he's going to be around the way it looks. Desperate times. I mean, they're 1 loss away from becoming bowl ineligible. They're 3-6. They dropped 1 game here, and it's no bowl game for Prime. And I don't. It looks brutal for them here. That loss to Arizona is probably the worst loss. Well, these got some bad losses, but at home, that's about as bad. Arizona cannot beat anybody on the road. If you go back to last season, that to me was the backbreaker for the season for this Colorado team. On the road, they're giving up 36 points a game, 5.5 yards per rush, 7.4 yards per pass. What put me on WVU is how they looked last week. It takes time for these coaches to get their system in place, and that was impressive. You beat Houston on the road. They went into your town there, Sean, and they beat the Cougars.
I don't know about that, bro. That's Houston used to be pretty tough.
Yeah. They went in there and beat them. That's what impressed me. 45 points they put on the Cougars, Rich Rod's guys. So,
I like that. -6.5 this weekend. Yeah. It's kind of beating a dead horse, but oh well. We'll beat the dead horse. What else? I like some college football this weekend. Shoot. I don't know. I feel like another one. Sean actually mentioned it on the show yesterday, and when he said it, I was like, yeah, I'm with him. A&M. -6, 6.5. I like that.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the Missouri quarterback. So,
well, I mean, they're on their third string walk on right now.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, excuse me, Perbula wasn't even good, anyways. But yeah, dealing with that. And what else? Are we laying it with Vandy? Again, just beating dead horses. Is that what we're going to do in here against Auburn?
No. I don't know. You get the old
that one. I don't know, because Auburn actually could have a defense,
and they can run the ball, right?
They can show up with the defense and run the ball. So I think you lay it with Bama though, 9.5. I'll give it out all. I mean, I think that one's LSU is man.
The team that covers every game is Mississippi State, getting 8.5, 7.5 against Georgia. Georgia on the road.
And let me tell you something, man. That one was a bad beat. I was all over UGA. I didn't actually put that on the site, but I was all over it. And I'll give Javon his roses here. Javon was all over. I think he was on the money line though, but +7 would have cashed. And yes, it should have cashed the other way, but they took a knee at the end, which I'm not going to get mad about that because that's the right thing to do. You don't give the other team a 1 in a million chance of making the comeback. So yes, you take that knee there, but throughout the game, they made so many mistakes that they should have covered that spread, bottom line. Like I said, they were going against a wide receivers coach who's now thrown into the mix here, scrambling. I don't know. You want to talk about Florida here? Florida going and playing Kentucky. Historically, they have trouble with Kentucky. They never take them serious. Even after losing the year before, they still never take them serious. This is the type of spot they go and lay an egg. I don't know. Not on it, not strong about it, but I'm staying away because Florida historically has laid an egg. I remember one year, only reason why we won that game is because there was 9 guys on the field for Kentucky. They forgot to cover a wide receiver out there. I don't know if you guys remember that one. It was like 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I'm staying away. That's my Florida rant for you guys for today. Still upset about that Georgia game.
In the noon window on ABC is not an SEC game. They're going to give you a Big 12 game and a big one. BYU and Texas Tech. Does the O go away here for BYU? Texas Tech laying 10 in this one.
Lay it.
I don't know. That one I'm scrambling about as well.
Laying 10 to BYU's what? Undefeated. Come on.
I'm trying to see something real quick on this quarterback.
I think Murrin is playing, I think.
Yeah. But how he was doing last week, because I know they freaking covered that number against Kansas State. That was a rough L.
Yeah, because their loss came at Arizona State with an injured quarterback.
Right. Last week he just goes out, though, 250 yards. He didn't run at anything, though. But, yeah, he's not that big of a runner, Morton. But he's efficient. At home. This is one of the best teams they've had, like I said, since the Leach era.
Yeah.
A lot of hype there. They forked it out. It's $18 million roster they have. They forked it out. But guess who else is forking it out? BYU. Yeah. BYU's forking it out. Look at the program that they have with basketball. Look at what they've done with the football program. They whooped up on Colorado last year. That was an embarrassing bowl performance there. I remember that one. I don't know, man. This Bear Bachmeier's doing things freshman quarterbacks aren't supposed to be doing. That's the thing. So that's what's having me like plus 10 or pass. But I'm probably passing.
Yeah, it's just BYU. I just hate to go against them. They just seem to kick you in the behind, right? A backdoor touchdown, a comeback at the end. You just never know. But again, this Texas Tech team has been explosive at home with that offense. Oregon laying 6 on the road at Iowa. That's an interesting one.
That one could be a defensive struggle. Very, very, very quickly, a defensive struggle I could see. That quarterback for Iowa, let me make sure he's still playing because, man, I tell you what, sometimes I come on here, start naming quarterbacks, and they're not even freaking playing recently. Yeah, Gronkowski, this kid, he can run. He can run. He's not that bad. And, this is going to be a 24-21. What's the total at? 41 and a half? It'll be right around there. Oh, yeah.
LSU, Alabama.
23-16. Yeah.
LSU, Alabama. It opened 11. LSU getting money on the road down to 10, total 52.5.
No, I already said. I mean, Bama.
Yep. Bama all day, all night, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know about that, bro. Bama's winning, but they're not dominating games. LSU's still a talented team. I mean, how good was the coach, Brian Kelly? I don't know how good he was.
Notre Dame was pretty. I have to give him his props at Notre Dame. At Cincinnati, it wasn't very good because they were winning blowout games, 54-46. He had some bad. That's what I remember the most about.
He's not a good coach. He's not a good coach here. I mean,
he Notre Dame was not a fit at LSU. He was not a fit at LSU. The players were rolling their eyes every time he spoke.
Well, listen, he won in Notre Dame because Notre Dame has a cupcake schedule, and then they got to the playoffs and they get rolled by good teams. So now he's at LSU where he's got to play good teams 8 out of 12 weeks, and he's going to lose 4 of them.
Yeah, and so Notre Dame does attract. One thing with Notre Dame, they do attract good assistant coaches. I will say that.
I mean, he freaking brought. I know he got his butt steamrolled there with Cincinnati, but I mean, he built that Cincinnati program.
Oh so, yeah,
he's not a bad coach. It's just that wasn't the right fit for him. A place like Notre Dame is a good fit. Hate to say it, Penn State's not that bad of a fit for him, but I don't know. He's probably chilling with his $50 million. He probably doesn't care right now about any of that. But no, anyways, I like Alabama in that spot. This LSU defense isn't what it is either. What it normally is. I mean,
can we get a shootout game with Nussmeier finally waking up?
Let me tell you, when you got your middle linebacker dating Lane Kiffin's daughter and throwing up every 30 seconds, the kid can't go 30 plays without throwing up. He's out of shape. He's drinking too much. Partying too much. That's your star middle linebacker, huh? LSU. Come on, they've had anybody that's an LSU fan in the chat, just say some of the names that you guys have had at that linebacker position. Quan Alexander, Devin Lloyd, all these guys. What's his name? Jesus, man. Just name after name you could come with these LSU linebackers. That's who they got this year? Okay.
I always look at the receiver position, right? They're not getting any, right? The receivers were pounding in the NFL. And Nussmeier, we could see the numbers so low for him this our season. San Diego State, I guess they're the Mountain West darling here. I guess we're going to score off with Boise. They may represent in the Mountain West Championship. They got a tough spot. They're laying 7 and open 4.5. This has been one of the big movers here. Open 4.5, now up to 7, going the island facing Hawaii. Total 50 there. San Diego State at Hawaii.
Great game. Great game. That's all I got to say. Well, we saw what happened with Hawaii already last week. I was on San Jose State. I loved it. They did creep back in that game, but, I mean, they're going to throw the ball 40, 50 times. So, San Diego State, those top 10, you look at every defensive metric, they're basically in the top 10 everywhere. Yeah. Granted, have they played anybody? Not really, but Higgs, what do you think about that one, man? I'm not heavy on that game because of that.
Yeah, I'm only on a few games this week, man. I really don't like a lot of again, I've had some close losses, whatever, but it just has not jumped out to me like other weeks, Now, and I'm not afraid to pull the trigger, win or lose. All right, I had a bad day, I'll battle back. But I look at the card, I'm like, I just don't. I have 4 games. And again, is it because I shifted to basketball over the weekend, like starting to get into college hoops, and I kind of ignored a little bit of the football? But I don't think it's that way because I'm looking at college football on NFL Sunday last week. That's what I'm looking at the lines, right? That's where I'm like, all right, I like this spot, this spot.
Yeah, and the thing is, the lines are tighter this time of the year in college. Anytime you see a line move now at this time of the year, it's usually injury.
See,
You
I came off a bad weekend, and I only laid 3 plays down. And I'm like, no. I left a lot on the table this past week, and I'm ready to fire this weekend. So you're going to see a lot of volume from me on the site this weekend because I was pissed about how I went last weekend. Just, you can't play scared in this game. Only 3 bets on a college football Saturday is
it's like poker. You got to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Well, listen. I feel that way, and last couple of days I've lost, but it's not going to change the way I play because that's the way I played since September. 8, 9 games a week, 10, 12, 17 games. But then it's like you look at them like, all right, whether it's tighter lines, NFL, like whatever the case would be, in my not disposition, but whatever. Like I'm talking about college basketball. Am I not really focusing on that because I know I got college basketball coming up I got to worry about,
Right. I always look at November as a dog month. Look at ugly dogs, heavy dogs, because this is kind of what I look at it. Yeah, you have your teams that you can fade at this time of the year. Then you have your teams that are on the improve. Teams like North Carolina that come off of late starts, everybody making fun of them early in the season, and they start to grind, they start to see some improvements. So you can find some value on improving dogs here. Teams like North Carolina, there'll be some out there as well. Teams that people just laughed at in September, well, guess what happens in November? With Belichick's got the defense working for him. Look for those improving teams, and there'll be some value for them on the underdog because a lot of times in college football is really for a season long is a small sample size. So then cut that sample size down to 3 games, 2 games, and you could see some improvement, right, Sean?
Well, yeah, right. You have your team that started bad, whether with new coaches or whatever the case may be, and then they kind of have the stigma of that team's terrible. But yet they're playing better down the stretch. And then they're playing a team where, you know what, maybe that team's falling apart and their season didn't go the way it's supposed to go. And, okay, so I got to play in the Gasparilla Bowl and whatever here. I'm gonna nil out of here and go somewhere else. You got guys already halfway out the door. There's 3 games left. You're on 0-8 UMass. What are you playing for? You're on a bad Arkansas, whoever, whatever team. So, yeah, the dogs are going to be more enticing. And then you have your upstart kind of teams. Your Virginias who no one kind of thought was going to be good, right? They're coming out of the blue. That's where you got to kind of look. Like we're talking about LSU and Bama. Like Bama's like, oh, Bama's rolling. Look at them beating all these teams. Yeah, well, they're losing in the numbers to take a Mark Lawrence look at it. Like inside the stats of the games, they're winning, but the stats aren't there. Like they're just making a play. And that's all fine and dandy, but not when you're covering numbers. That's different. Like you're not going to cover a number all the time with that. And now you got a coach fired. Like how the guys – that's what you got to look at these kind of years. Guys getting fired, who's stepping up? Auburn going to step up? LSU going to step up? You look at them in a dog role. You brought up Carolina with Belichick. Like is he staying next year? Like what is the mentality of that team?
Well, if I'm seeing improvement from the team, I got to think that he's going to stay. Right, that's kind of how I look at it. Unless he gets an offer again from the NFL, but I doubt that. Unless Miami, Miami says, "Hey, come fix this." They could be that back in the situation. And also, we're kind of getting to the point of the year where we're going to get to rivalry games. I'm not a big look ahead guy because every game. You see, I come from the time when look ahead spots were the big TV games. Right, not all these games were on TV. So
they're
look
on
ahead
TV now.
Now they're on TVs. Right back then, look ahead spot was, hey, we're going to get a national TV appearance, and that's a look ahead. I'm not a big look-ahead guy, but we are getting close to into these rivalry games. So I guess, Sean, do you do some schedule watching here as we get closer to these big rivalry games coming up?
How do you what for the SEC who puts Furman on a schedule in mid-November before Alabama? No, other schools and even that. I mean, Oregon State played in September. These guys, the rivalry game was in September, Washington State, because they're not even in the same freaking conference anymore. Not much as a look ahead spot as opposed to a week of. Because again, like how's it? Come on, the Mayo Bowl is great. Duke's Mayo Bowl. It's right up there with the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Pop-Tarts Bowl is fabulous. But as you said, like back in the day, it was, oh, we're going to play on TV tonight, ESPN. Well, you know what? Now ESPN has freaking 15 games during the week. You know, there's no everybody's on TV. Before, I mean, dude, in the 90s, Tony, you remember it was like, oh, I'm just taking the dogs here on TV. And you can go 9-4 during with all the college and NFL games because there's a handful of them. Yeah. There's a handful. Now it's like, oh, you got to look at the dog. Well, there's Fox 1, Fox 2, CBS Sports Network, 3 ESPNs, ABC's got triple upper, NBC. You got XYZ. You got every
TNT added to the mix now. TNT is showing games.
I mean, Big Ten Network, ACC Network, SEC Network, the Pac-12,
ESPN
Network.
ESPNU, even ESPN. They can pull highlights from ESPN Plus. They can pull your highlight.
CW.
CW. That's right. The old school CW.
Yeah, I mean, they got games. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, look. I mean,
why Saturday college football is my favorite.
Take the cartoons away. Now college football is taking away the cartoons.
Now, if you want to say you're in a spot, you play Tennessee, you're home versus Kentucky, and then you got Georgia on deck. Like you're gonna have a flat spot like that. Is that a look ahead spot? Like those kind of sandwich spots? Yes, they're those things that I look at. You're off, playing a bunch of ranked teams, and you got some bad conference team in there. That's one. I'm not looking to lay 34 with a team or 17 or whatever the case would be.
Like I know it's NFL. The Packers just fell victim to a look ahead spot. You don't think they were looking ahead to the Eagles? Let the Panthers go up in there and whoop up on them like that? That's a look ahead spot. They exist. You just got to find them, man. I was mad I didn't get on the Panthers because way too much value to let that slip, man.
Well, if that's the case, you just fade the Packers because they had a look ahead spot against the Cowboys. They just lose games. I don't think they're look at spot versus the Steelers. So every game's look at spot for these guys, every other game. I think they're, I think they got problems on defense a little bit, but
in the back half. Oh yeah.
It's a good look at it, but they have, that's more inconsistent. If it was one game and one thing, but you had the Browns you had a problem in Arizona out of the gate, Carolina. I mean, if you got to look at spot every other week, you don't have a look at spot. You're just not a good team.
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying? Like one's a fumble 3 times.
The good teams take care of the teams they're supposed to. Bottom line,
definitely an inconsistent crew, JM.
Yeah.
Definitely think it's like, one game would be one thing.
Yeah, and also too, looking at college football stats, a lot of times in the SEC, you see those really good athletes on special teams, punt returns, right? How do you? A lot of those times, that's not factored into the stats. So sometimes you have to really look deep and see some of these return yards, return scores, because a lot of these great playmakers, these are backup receivers that are studs. They're returning kicks, giving the offense great field position there. All right, let's just do the sports coverage. Now it's time to see what we have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Head into a big week of action, guys. A lot of football. We got college basketball, wall-to-wall coverage here as well. So let's see what's happening over at Tony's Picks. Guys, just click the link in the description. It'll take you right over to our site at Tony'sPicks.com. We're going to find our best bets. That's where our best plays are. We just gave you our free plays. Best bet premiums up here on the site with leaderboards showcasing our top performers. Let's see what Chris has for sale right now over at Tony's Picks for this Tuesday. Chris, what you got?
I guys got your best bet in NBA tonight, and then I've got your best bet in college basketball as well tonight. Just 2 plays out there. Didn't get a third one for a 3-pack, but yeah, hop on there. We get something long-term, short-term. We're seeing a lot of late steam coverage here as we get, of course, NBA. You never know who's going to be in or out till right up till game time, apparently. You can kind of tell with these lines, like we kind of see some things, but these guys are just not reporting. So, excuse me. So yeah, hop on something there. 2-for-1 capper. You guys see who's hot. Pair them up together. Let them go to work for you. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save you to 15%. And let's just try to continue doing well.
That's right. Yeah, boy, Chris over at Tony's Picks got his best bets up there on the board for you right now. Long-term subscriptions. You guys like that 7-day pass here on early in the week because it gets you all the football coverage for the weekend and midweek action as well. So get on board with Chris over at Tony's Picks, if you will. All right, let's see what's rolling over at Tony's Picks. We'll see what Sean has for sale for today's card. Sean, what you got rolling?
Yeah, a little college football, college hoops. I got one game up there. But yeah, not on a good run lately. So you see, we're down a little bit the last couple weeks. It's a long season, but I gotta get back on track. You want to get me? Super. You want to get somebody else? Go with somebody who's hotter. I'm not hot right now. You want to ride the hot hand. I don't have it. Move along. Use the leaderboard. Have a good one. Come back to me in another week or two. I get back on track. I'll let you know when I'm winning. Let you know when I'm losing. I'm not having a good run the last 2 weeks. So let's got to straighten out the ship before I want everybody to get on. You don't want to unless you want to buy in fade. That's. But I'll tell them I'm not doing well lately. That's just the way it is. It's been a tough 2 weeks there with football and then college and NFL football. Again, basketball's here. We'll see how we do. But again, one day at a time, I got to get right before I'm going to tell you make a jump. Make sure you get on board. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I got to straighten out first and get back on track.
All right, there with Sean there. Let's see what's going over at Tony Spix. What Alessandro's got for sale right now over at Tony Spix. Alessandro's put together an impressive a year here in the NFL for this find the card here for the past 30 days here for the season. So, Alessandro, what do you have for sale over at Tony Spix?
Yeah, man, it was a rough weekend there, and a couple people still hopped on with it yesterday, and we got that win for them there with the Arizona Cardinals. Nice. Appreciate the loyalty because it was rough this weekend. No excuses, but hop back on and look, we win. So sometimes when a guy's cold doesn't mean you just completely get rid of him. That's normally when a guy gets hot again, ebbs and flows of this game. But I have a lot out today, guys. I got an NBA best bet. I have a college basketball best bet. I do have an NHL one-timer play of the day. I have a college football best bet in the MAC. And then, I have a tennis best bet.
Yeah,
it's
tennis.
Been a while. It's been a while, but I found a tennis winner. Guys. Couple hours away. Go buy that one there, $19. Just go check out the tennis numbers. I pick my spots when it comes to tennis. So, we'll see how this one goes today. But I'm ready to make some money, man. Like I said, rough weekend, a good day yesterday to bounce back, and let's get this ball rolling. So there'll be UFC this weekend as well. A lot of dogs are barking, but yeah, a lot of action. This is the best time of the year, sports equinox. What can I say?
That's right. A lot of sports overlap here. You get on board with the Alessandro over at Tony Spix. You guys can see the results. These are all based on $100 unit wager size with Alessandro over at Tony Spix. And, of course, all of our one-day passes here are profit guaranteed. They must earn a profit amount purchase. Will be credit back to your account for site credits. That's profit guarantee there. Or you can go, like I said, long-term subscriptions. That 7-day pass is a really good value right now, especially with all these sports overlapping. Alessandro is in the pick of spots in tennis. UFC up there on the weekend. We can see some NHL, NBA, all the sports overlap. Great time to get that long-term subscription. You want to try out Alessandro, get that 7-day pass so you get a full week from him over at Tony'sPicks.com. All these records are based on $100 unit wager size. All right, guys, over at Tony's Picks for today, I've got a best bet on the board. We're looking for some more as well. So check me out and match me up with your favorite capper here with the 2-for-1 capper promotion here with you guys here every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It is the Tony Morning Show. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Thumbs up if you would as well. A lot of great content here on the channel as well. You guys can go ahead and check us out on the YouTube where we produce on-demand content, not just live shows, but on demand. And of course, archives where you can watch replays of our live shows. Of course, we got our when you land on our YouTube channel, Tony's Picks, search in the search engine there, find it. I've got my plays up there for you right now. I've already looked at some of the cards here from college football for this week. I've got 10 deep dives from college football Saturday. Chris's hit list debuts with the NHL prop list. That's up there with the new thumbnail look. Look at that. Our guys got the crew got the new thumbnail look with Chris on the hit list. Check it out. Playlist featuring NFL, college football. Ramon's in there as well. I'm in there as well with the plays for Tuesday and more. There we got to remove that MLB playlist because that season's over. NHL up there. Ramon's got you covered on the NHL today. Fight pick videos and more. Check it out. Shorts up there as well. You see Brian populating the shorts tab. So lots of great content there over on the Tony Mix YouTube channel. Check it out. And of course, guys, if you want to watch a replay of our shows, just hit that live tab. That's where you'll find us there. Of course, our morning show here on replay. Night Moves is from Ramon and DeAndre there. That's overnight, 2:30. Well, usually 2:30 a.m. Eastern time, sometimes midnight, 3 a.m. Eastern time. Check it out. You can also, for those guys on the East Coast, you get up in the morning, watch the replay of the night moves because you get a complete rundown of the day's card on night moves. You can, after you watch us, watch the night moves because there's a Ramon in there and DeAndre giving you plays. Happy hour, Rod's on the happy hour. You'll always see Ron in there. Brian will be in there as well. That's where you get your updates, goalie changes, injuries, line moves. Check it out. Happy hour, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Rod hosting that. So a lot of great content over on the Tony Vicks YouTube channel. Check it out if you would. All right. Of course, a lot of great content here on the Tony Vicks YouTube channel and more. Of course, Chris, that hit list was a real big hit there in Major League Baseball. Now we move on over to NHL and more.
Yeah, we're moving to NHL. We're going to tread lightly with NBA. I've just been tracking NBA lately, and I don't know. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist guy and think these guys are just tanking their stuff, whatever. But, I mean, you got guys who are set at a certain thing, and they come out the second half and don't score anything. So I'm not going to give you guys any NBA props anytime soon. I got to watch the league and see what's going on there. You will get some anytime touchdowns on that hit list once we get Thursday night football, Saturday or Sunday football. Those kind of things. I'm treading lightly into NHL. I expect a little bit of criticism there. I'm not a hockey guy. I follow the data. I see what happens and the best matchups that I can give you guys. So we did that. New thumbnail out there. Thought it was a new series, new thumbnail. I did keep my shirt on. I'm not as brave as Alessandro there with his. Maybe when I get my chest tattoo, we'll take that off. But that's for a future time. But anyway, yeah, new thumbnail there. I thought it was time for a change and kind of just a read thing. We'd invested so much into the home run hit list that now the hit list is hoping to be as successful as that one was. So I'm giving you guys the best data I've got, trying to give you the best information, and we'll just try to keep doing well.
Okay, good. Everyone, first check them out on the home run list on the prop there on that from hockey to today. Sean got you here in the mornings. You pop in, of course. You linger on some of the chats as well.
Yeah. Maybe with the basketball, maybe like I said, I'll probably maybe more jump on the show with Rod in the afternoon session, just cause. I mean, it is what it is with college basketball. I'm a line guy. I like to, if I'm going to give a pick out, I want it to win. So that's it. I don't want to say basketball, college hoops has turned into NBA for me, but maybe because I didn't really pay attention to the lines last year after I just did it. Now I'm looking at the stuff. I'm like, man, were they this crazy out of the gate last year as well?
The totals, it used to be the totals, right? The totals were the ones that were crazy, right?
Yeah, but I mean, now you're getting like 3-point moves in on the spreads. It's like, like Texas Tech was like 30. It's 34.5 now. Like,
I know.
I've just been staring at all morning.
Well,
UCLA last night, it went from like 24 to 30. They don't even cover. They only won by 6.
Yeah,
it's like
The thing is, Eastern Washington isn't those down. Like Boston U, they were playing those really downtrodden teams. This is a little better than some of those bad teams that they played last year. I was scratching my head. I didn't play it, and I thought Eastern Washington isn't in the caliber of team that UCLA was playing last year. Boston U was one. Who was the other? There were some really, really, really lower conference schools.
Right.
Like San Diego State was a 20 opener. It's 26.5 now. 25.5 at some spots.
Yeah.
26.5 at MGM. Like, I want to come in on the other side with a bunch of these dogs that move 6 points. I mean, you can't take a fade that's moved 6 points. I mean, is it just people betting up like they? Now, can they beat these guys 88 to 54? Yeah, I'm sure they could. But I see those. I'm itching. Florida State lines moved 10 points. It was 18. It's 28 now at 4-1-1. 27.5. FanDuel. It opened at 18. It was 18 last night. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
18.5, 148.5. It is now 27.5, 152.5. And the total went up 7 points.
Now, how long have these lines been up? Are they going off? When was these posted? I didn't track it close enough to see where they're using the opening line from when it was posted.
What did you say, Sean? Like 8 p.m.
8 o'clock last night. 9 o'clock. I wrote these down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
I'll tell you what. Listen,
9 Eastern.
If this is the way it's going to be, you take the lines open up. You just take these big faves. You take your Florida States. Well, Kentucky only moved 2 points. Isn't crazy. San Diego. I mean, who had San Diego State as a 6-7 point line move? Nevada's come down 3 points.
There's been talk about San Diego State, though. There's been talk they got one of the best teams since they've had Kawhi Leonard. That's what everybody's saying. Really? Okay.
10-point line moves?
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out for sure. But I don't know. I got to see it.
Texas Tech, 3 points. 3 points for Iowa. Total Iowa, 8 points, 144 to 136. 157 and 163 in Oklahoma State.
I know the Bama North Dakota. I got to check that one. Did that one go over last night? That one flew like 10 points. It went from like 160 to 170. It went all the way to 170 like that. Bama North Dakota. That was yesterday. Yeah, no, I get it. The lines are just moving like crazy, though.
Well, there's people that just live for this, right? They just live. Right. That's all they do is college basketball. They model it, and they whatever they're. I mean, to me, I don't know how you set a model early in the year because you got to be using last year's.
Some of these guys on these small schools are JUCO guys. You're having to look up JUCO stats. Like, dude, good luck.
Oh, well, yeah, these mid-majors get fleeced, right? If you got anybody that can make a three in a small conference, they're getting poached.
Yeah.
That's what we've seen here with the some of these conferences. But of course, Alessandro got you here on mornings, and we see you popping some of the other shows as well.
Yes, no, you'll see me on the happy hour sometimes as well with Rod. That's always a good show. Give you the last minute action, and I haven't been doing any UFC. UFC's been some crazy stuff going on.
Oh yeah, there's some stuff going on here.
Let's leave it at that. Some crazy stuff going on. I do like this card, but I mean,
I will say this about all these things coming up. It just tells me that it's been going on for some time, and it hasn't been because people were taking advantage in the offshore world. In the offshore world, they just take the numbers down, and sometimes they don't even pay people, and then nothing gets reported. Now it gets reported, so I think this is a good time where they need to clean it up. That's how I look at it.
The sleazeball parlays will stay cashing. Shout out to Dante Johnson and Alan Nascimento there. That little minus 300 at minus 140 cashed. That's the way I've been having to approach UFC. And those were, I'm not going to say rigged fights or fixed fights, but the matchups were pretty freaking obvious. I mean, is that how I have to approach it? It's not fun anymore. I used to like the finding the dog, this young kid that you never heard of, who's from this country you never heard of, but he's fighting this big name and he's plus 400. Those days are over, man. They come here. We had one with guess what happened? The Cuban guy that was plus 200 that nobody heard of that won, it gets flagged for fight fixing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that happen. Dogs. They're not going to give you a freaking underdog. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. Again, I think it's going to take a while to clean up the sport. As I said, this likely has been going on for several decades, not just several years, several decades of stuff has been going on. Now that we have legalization, well, guess what? They can now report it because they're legal betting. It's legal to bet when you're doing stuff like this and it's offshore. Well, no one's going to report it. They're just going to take it off the board, not pay you. But it's time now where we're going to clean up this mess now with legalization. So
how many times have I had a dog of like, let's say plus 200? It's going down to the decision. The guy did everything he deserved to win that fight, right? But you're not going to get that decision because the books are going to – it's how it feels. It's like, who's going to win this close fight? The minus 300 favorite or the plus 200? You know what I mean? It always goes to the minus 300 favorite, it seems like, man. That's annoying. The Cyril Gain, I was on Cyril Gone, plus 300. That would have been a nice cash. And the first round, if you watch that fight, it looked like he was going to go on his way to upset Aspinall. Of course, that one, no contest. That's a push. Yeah, do they let dogs win every now and then? Yeah, but it's always one that nobody even freaking thought of, man. It's always that. It's very frustrating. That's how it's been the last month or so. But with that being said, I'll still dabble this weekend.
Very good there. All right. Probably look just at the top of the card, at the top of the card, right?
The sleazeball, like I said, the sleazeball parlays.
The sleazeball parlays. Or if you get a competitive title fight, there's those opportunities.
Guys, Steven Garcia. Look at the guy. That's who's supposed to be this next hot shot. Guys, The sport's not what it used to be, man. That's just come on. That's all I gotta say. It's like he's training out of Jackson Wink, and that's a hot shot gym. John Jones trains out of there. They found him a very good matchup in Onama, or Onama did what everybody's getting in trouble for. Because how does that fight only last one round? Go watch David Onama fight against Nate Landwehr. Granted, Nate Landwehr is not the same size as Garcia, but skill for skill. I mean, and as far as grit, going out there and bleed, yeah, Nate Landwehr will go do that. And Onama fought tooth and nail with him. That was a great fight. Onama looked like a shell of himself. Not to roast him too hard, but that was insane to give that, like, oh gosh, rant. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a sport you have a lot of passion for, and you don't like the way it's going. And of course, I think I mentioned about a month ago, Gamble Lou had some issues with it, and sure, here it comes, right? There's no doubt issues there in UFC. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the show. Back again tomorrow. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Any closing thoughts from anyone before we close it out?
Best of luck still with everything, guys. Let's win today.
Make a winning one. We're going to wake up. Bye, guys. Make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the Tony 6 Morning Show.